CGI, CGI, it's no longer impressive. No, this movie was actually all right. Critics are a little wrong on this one. I actually like Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, and I think you liked it too.
I did. I think I'm Johnny Lang, by the way. Everybody.
Oh yes, hi. I'm Mike Crowley, and this is Johnny Lang.
What's
right
up?
now, you're looking at an appearance of two action figures of dinosaurs.
We'll call mine Dino Johnny.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. You know, he's got human friends, and he's not going to eat anybody. He looks scary, but he's definitely he's going to eat some meat, but just like small birds and babies.
Right. Anyways,
Go ahead.
I guess I'll get into it. I guess I liked it because this is sort of an upgraded version of Jurassic World, or not Jurassic World, the Lost World Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I agree.
And basically what it did is it made a version of that movie with characters that I liked, where it was funny. It had the same two characters from the previous film that I didn't like. That was played by Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. And this movie, I liked them a little more, I guess, because they already had their history. And I just felt like you kind of needed the first movie to have this movie. And it does drag in some spots where some of the action goes on for a little too long, where it's exhausting. But overall, it was a fairly entertaining film. It knew that it was a B movie and played to the fact that it knows it's not going to be to the level of the original Steven Spielberg film.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun, kooky, and have a lot of sort of camera winky moments that don't go too over the top with it, although the action goes over the top, but it's enjoyable because it does. And it was a good, fun time.
I agree. Mike and I agree on a lot of films these days. But I mean, we haven't seen a movie together that was a total schlub. Maybe like
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, but I like that you didn't. So we deferred on that. But no, I thought Jurassic World was a pleasant surprise. I went with low expectations because I had seen a couple reviews that were bad, and I don't want to waste time with bad movies. So there's so many movies to see. It's important for me to, if I'm going to spend $25 for IMAX 3D, I want to know that I'm going to go see a good movie. But of course, I'm critic-proof for a few movies, and that would be like Jurassic Park movies and maybe Star Trek movies. So I will see those regardless of negative reviews. One of my favorite Jurassic Park movies is Jurassic Park 3, because they did the same thing.
I thought you were kidding when you said that.
No, I wasn't kidding. I don't think it's the best. It's the second best, but now I think Fallen Kingdom is probably the second best compared to the original. It was the big blockbuster this year that I want to know what happened next. I was excited when things happened. I was laughing. I think Chris Pratt did an amazing job. He kind of had the character, like the snarky attitude that was lacking in the Han Solo movie. I think it had the energy that was a little bit lacking in Avengers. I liked Avengers, my favorite Marvel movie in a long time. But Fallen Kingdom, I think, was just exciting. And if you're going to go see a movie in the theater, this is a really good choice.
It's meant for a big screen.
Yeah, I think the director is J.A. Bayona. Maybe
I've never heard of him before.
Look that up. Yeah. I've seen his movies, actually. He did The Orphanage with Nicole Kidman. That's good horror movie, a little Peter Jackson-y. Guillermo del Toro.
I remember that one.
Guillermo del Toro produced that because they made that together. So that was his first breakout there, and then he went on to do what is that movie? With Naomi Watts about the Impossible. So about
that's a good director.
White people in Africa get swept away by or somewhere India.
Yeah,
white people in India who are in peril because of mudslides and water and stuff like that. So that was a really intense movie. And then Monster Calls, and then he did Fallen Kingdom, which great movie compared to the first one. A million times better than Jurassic World. I was not a fan of Jurassic World.
What didn't you like about it? I can go over what I didn't.
I think Jurassic World, I mean, it's been a while, but I think I was just slow. I didn't care about the characters. I thought Bryce Dallas Howard's character was real flat.
Yeah. The only characteristic that she had was that she went from, I guess, this tough businesswoman to someone who knew how to survive, who had the miraculous ability to run away from dinosaurs in high heels in all sorts of.
And I think the movie got a lot of flack, calling it sexist. She was playing sort of this like old school character, sort of the arm piece to the Chris Pratt character, and but I mean I like Bryce Dallas Howard. I think she's a great actress. She always looks great on screen. I can watch her. I'd watch her in anything. Not everything. Well, okay, I take that back.
I'm going to hold back my thoughts.
I like her. So, yeah, I just felt like that was a slub. I wasn't surprised. I didn't care. It was like I really wanted it to like throw back to Jurassic Park or at least try to make it. But I think you were right when you said that. I think with the sequel that they said, you know what? We don't need to make a 4-star movie. We need to make a 2.5-star movie that is just ridiculous, over the top, and just fun. So I think the last couple blockbuster movies I saw in the theater were disappointing, and I think they did a really great job with Fallen Kingdom. I would totally recommend it.
Yeah, I would recommend it too. I would say, look, yes, it has a 50-something on Rotten Tomatoes, but if you look at the reviews, there's always words in those reviews, and there's different things that different critics say. Yeah. And I'd say don't just look at and it's not like a big, fat, horrible number. 54% doesn't mean it's bad.
It's like
means
a C.
they're mixed. Yeah. And
That's a D.
Yeah, for me, to your point, I liked this far better than Jurassic World 1. Very confusing chronology here. But I liked it better than that film because it focused more on Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. They've already had their relationship. We kind of know what they were initially like and how they changed, and we kind of see how their relationship changed. And it played with more of the fun aspects of their character that I think Colin Trevorrow tried to capture in the original, but Colin Trevorrow is a fucking douchebag, and I think he couldn't capture that. I'm just going to assume he's a douchebag. They fired him from episode 9 because he's an asshole.
No, they fired him from episode 9 because he made a movie called...
Oh, I know what you're
Look
talking
it up
about.
later and show a clip. I hear I haven't seen it yet. I really want to.
The Book of Henry.
The Book of Henry. The Book of Henry, which was so universally panned and so awful that Kathleen Kennedy was like, we cannot hire this man to do a Star Wars movie. It will be a disaster. And she was probably right. So, needless to say, a lot of fans thought Last Jedi was a disaster. I disagree. But I'm a filmmaker, so I like filmmakers who are taking chances with big property. And I think he took smart chances. Some successful, some not, but I didn't think it made an all-around bad movie.
He did make some smart choices with Jurassic World. I will admit that. I liked how they established the relationship already with these characters, and they were more likable than they were in the original. And they had more to play with in this film than they did with Jurassic World. And this was more of a successful execution of the ideas of Jurassic World, where it kind of like Jurassic World was sort of the reboot of the original Jurassic Park, where they have a park where everything goes wrong. It's just that movie I think was a little too predictable. And the nice thing with this film was, it's kind of predictable, but it's also not very predictable. Like I didn't predict, and I'll get into mild spoilers here, that let's say 30 minutes into the movie, the island that we think the whole movie is going to take place in gets burnt to the ground by lava.
Man, that was so great.
Yeah.
Every single moment in that scene, I was like, geez, the first 45 minutes of this movie are like one of the best action movies I've seen since probably Speed.
Okay, well, that's
or The Fugitive.
That's a big statement.
Yeah.
I liked the antagonist in it. I thought Ted Levine was much better than... what was his name? Brian D'Onofrio or whatever?
Vincent D'Onofrio?
Vincent D'Onofrio, yeah.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio to me just felt too much like a stereotypical villain where he's playing this hillbilly and he's chewing gum and he's snapping his fingers in the dinosaur's face. And I'm going, I get it. You're a fat, bald asshole in this film who's a military guy. Here with Ted Levine, you got Buffalo Bill. Mm-hmm. He's scary. He's got that voice that really just kind of freaks you out.
Yeah, that's Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Favorite movie.
Yeah, and he plays sort of this hard-ass military guy in it, but he's not the only bad guy. We have another guy who's taking advantage of John Hammond's estate, and there was a little plot twist at the end of the film that I thought, where I realized this film really didn't care if it was going to be a B movie or not. And like you said, that where all the Jurassic Park sequels tried to sort of be at the high level of the original Jurassic Park, I guess excluding the third one, which came off like a Sci-Fi Channel movie, in my opinion.
I still love it. It's awesome.
Great cast. It was so bad, but this one managed to realize that this is a fun, silly B movie. I'm not Steven Spielberg. Let's take all these situations and have fun with some stuff. And they go into cloning in this film, like humans. Like, if we can't clone dinosaurs, maybe we can clone humans. A little spoiler there.
This isn't so much a spoiler, but I'll point out, like, during the movie, James Cromwell appears. An actor from...
And I thought he was dead in real life.
That was my story. Let me tell it again.
All right.
I said, we're watching the movie, and everyone's pretty quiet near the back row of this theater. And I see James Cromwell. James Cromwell played Zephyr Cochrane in the Star Trek movie, and he was in 6 Feet Under, and he was great in Babe. If you haven't seen Babe, if you haven't seen James Cromwell in Babe, that's a good choice, too.
That was his breakthrough role.
That was 20 years ago. And it says, hey, look at this old guy who made his first, like, kind of big, good movie, like, when he was in his 60s. Mm-hmm. But Mike turns to me and says, Johnny, I thought he was dead. I'm like, oh, hell no, dude. But I was like, did he say James Cromwell or like Hume Cronin?
No, you're like, no, John Hammond. And I'm like, no, not the character, not the actor who played John Hammond. James Cromwell, he's dead.
James Cromwell is not dead, everybody. He's looking pretty good. Still got that strong masculine voice I like so much. I think if I could work with...
he was sort of struggling with trying to do an English accent in that movie. Like, in one scene, he was pronounced... Like, at first, he kind of had that sort of old American accent where they over-enunciate everything. And then later, all of a sudden, he, like, all of a sudden goes full-on English. And I'm like, did he forget what role he was playing halfway when they were filming the movie? Did he get dementia?
I didn't notice that.
I did a little bit. I have an ear for accents. And
I noticed that for sure with another character, but I won't mention this character because...
Who?
The daughter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She had a little English accent at the end, and I was like, she didn't have that English accent before.
No, she had an English accent throughout the whole film.
No, because her nanny said to speak the Queen's English. So she had an American accent, but her pronunciation was...
I think she was English. Like someone who was born in England and raised in America. Yeah. So
speak the Queen's English.
Yeah. Don't sound like a dumb American.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're right. Let's move to the UK. I don't know how much opportunity there is in London, but there's a lot of shows on the BBC.
Yeah.
Let's work for that. Make a lot of... Anthony Hopkins still around?
But on the note of how much destruction and stuff like that was in the movie, it was nice to see a film that... once they melt the island, like 40 minutes into the movie, we move on to a boat. And that's for about like 20 minutes in. And then we're in a mansion. And this movie goes from location to location. And it keeps everything fresh that way. It keeps the energy going. Where you're not just slogging along in the same park, for instance. Or you're not in the same island as in The Lost World. Or as in Jurassic Park 3. They weren't just kind of like these bottle films. But they try to expand everything. They even sort of, if you've seen The Lost World where the T-Rex gets unleashed in the middle of San Diego, they kind of did it properly in this film. Where that's sort of the cliffhanger of the picture. I've kind of given away the film.
Well, I mean, if you've gotten this far without turning it off, we definitely get a post-credits sequence. My friend was sitting next to me, and she said, oh, got to save the post-credits sequence. We sat through 20 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not feeling too great today, so I said, I want to go. Is it worth it? So I will say to you right now that if your friends are egging you on to stay and you don't want to, you're not missing anything.
It's just
There, I
an
said
extra
it.
shot of
It's an
what's
extra
going
shot.
on at the end of the
It's
film.
an extra shot. So if like you're super excited for Jurassic World 3, probably will end up being directed by Pauly Shore. But
And also,
then watch this movie. Here's a hint: if you don't want to stay for post-credit sequence, who knows if Donald Trump would make a cameo in this third movie? Because if you idiots elect him again in 2020, he won't be in the movie. But if you don't elect him, maybe he can be in Jurassic World 3.
maybe we can get him
2021.
eaten.
Yeah. So
I
let's
want to
get
see Donald Trump eaten by a
Donald
dinosaur.
Trump eaten by a dinosaur
Yeah.
at Trump Tower in Las Vegas in one of the Trump hotels, and then he dies for real. The crew kills him.
They just think
Rosie
he's coming
O'Donnell standing on top of some building and just she's a dinosaur in this too. Rosie O'Donnell plays the voice of a dinosaur.
All right, well,
and
let's-
she becomes friends
let's
with
let's
Donald
get
Trump.
let's avoid the
Hey,
fat.
we're writing a
jokes.
screenplay. I didn't say she was. I'm not talking about her being fat.
Yeah.
I love fat people.
Yeah, me too. I'm fat.
I love everybody.
Yeah, but no, it was it did everything that The Lost World did and a little better, and it was a enjoyable film. I would definitely recommend it. You look at the score on Rotten Tomatoes and make up your mind for yourself. So yeah, it was a recommend for me. I don't think. What more can I say about the film?
I don't know. I mean, just go see it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we talked a little bit about some of its background and some of how we like the characters and stuff. I mean, now we're probably setting the bar a little higher than you've probably
Expected it to be, yeah.
But I think you're going to have a lot of fun when you see this movie.
Yeah. Well, Jurassic Park was only meant to be one film, and I think this is as much that they can do with the Jurassic Park sequel. The next one is going to be called. I think I know what the name of the film's going to be. If I'm going to guess, Jurassic War.
Jurassic War, like War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're
Jurassic
going that
War. Jurassic War.
I think they're going that
Okay.
direction.
Are they going to become super intelligent? Or are they going to use the DNA of the humans and the dinosaurs to make super intelligent?
I just think there's going to be a planet full of dinosaurs, and people are going to have to go to war and kill them.
And if Alan Grant and Laura Dern are not in this movie, I will be very upset.
Oh, fuck. I forgot one last thing. Okay. One last thing I'll say about this film. The decision that the characters make at the end of the movie, where it's supposed to be this righteous thing that they do, right? And it's supposed to emotionally move the audience, is one of the dumbest decisions because it just leads to the deaths of thousands of lives. But who cares? We don't know any off-screen characters like the rest of the planet Earth.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, so...
I think they're tame. I think they're good dinosaurs. They only kill people who are shooting at them, if you noticed.
Well, yeah. They said they have to adapt to that world. It's like, yes, and they're going to have to adapt to getting a really good lawyer. So having said that...
They can afford it.
Yeah, having said that, this review is a little all over the place. I'm not going to bother editing this. I'm just going to have it uncut. I really am. I have too much other shit to do. So go see Jurassic World. Recommend from Johnny and I.
Johnny Lang, director and producer at Lost Child Films. Check out Vimeo.com, Lost Child Films, to watch some cool short films. And finish them, so my algorithms tell me you finish them. It's very disrespectful not to finish a film.
Yeah, you
It's 5
really
minutes
should
long.
finish everyone's work. If you're not, then I'm going to hold back on what I'm thinking. Okay, and remember to rate and subscribe this video, and rate and subscribe on this channel, and like this video. And if you don't like it, please tell me why and tell me constructively. Okay, have a good one, guys.